I've blown the dust off my Lanshan 2 and I bought it out for a camp tonight. Got a new sleep mat to try out as well, and I've got myself a new Osprey Kestrel 68 rucksack. I've had my Kestrel 48 for a good couple of years now and I really can't fault it. But last time I did a cold weather winter camp, I couldn't quite get all of my kit into it. I ended up strapping a few bits to the outside of the pack and I can't be having that. I'm not a psycho. So I wanted something with just a little bit more space to get all my gear in, and it made sense to just go for the bigger version of a bag that I already know and like. I'll give you a proper look at it when I find somewhere to pitch up and unpack. I'm just at one of my permission spots and it looks like they've been doing some work down here, so I've made it through the field of sheep. And yeah, I'm not sure where to set up tonight. Whether to go into the woodland bit or be a bit more in the open. It is awesome to have this spot available to me though. It's really useful to have when I want to test out gear before taking it out for a proper camp. So there are a few differences between this Osprey Kestrel 68 and the 48 version, other than obviously that 20 litre extra size that you get. One thing is the brain or the lid isn't permanently fastened at the back. You've got two buckles and that allows you to raise and lower the whole of the lid as you fill the main compartment up with stuff. Another difference is on the 48 you have a pocket down the side that I used to put my tent poles in, which you don't have with the 68. But what you have instead is a big zip that goes all the way around the back of the pack so that you can open the whole thing up and get quick access to whatever's inside. What this opening also does is allows you to see that the snacks that you brought along has leaked inside all over all of your gear, which I think is a pretty awesome feature. So that's one dead snackaroni. Which is going to make the inside of my bag smell delightful, isn't it? Oh, cheesy. So yeah, everything that was in my bag and my bag itself now all smell like cheese. Winner. So I bought my Lanshan 2 tent with me. I've packed it into this stealth dry bag. So I'll get that set up. I'll try and de-cheese my gear as much as I can. And then I'll let you have a look at the other stuff I bought. Stinks. I reckon this will still be alright, you know. It's just the foil lid that's ripped. Just having a proper scout around for any twigs or sharp bits because I haven't bought my footprint. Providing there's nothing too horrendous on here, it should be alright. Like that. What's the height you need for a Lanshan 2? I think it's 120 centimetres. Bought myself some nice clean new pegs to try as well. They're not sponsored or anything, I bought them myself and I did, I think, buy the wrong size. So they're from Big Sky International and they're a hollow tube peg called a tube stake. Now these only weigh 9 grams each, so they're really lightweight. I thought I'd bought the wrong size, but they're actually a pretty similar size, or basically the same size as the pegs that you get with the Lanshan, but they are a lot lighter and they're meant to be really strong as well. There's videos on the website of them nailing these into bits of wood and stuff, so I'm gonna try them out. Don't even know how many I've got. What was saying, 1, 2, 8 of them. Can't remember how much they are, but basically I'm crap at remembering stuff like that. So if you see anything on any of my videos, I will put links to it in the description of the video. I'm not going to keep saying link in description all the time because it's wearing a bit thin, to be honest. So anything you see in any of my videos, it'll be in the description. If it's not for any reason, just drop me a comment or a message and I'll let you know where I get stuff from. Gone back to the Lanshan 2 non-pro version for this camp. I did have one before and then I swapped it for the Lanshan 1 Pro. So the non-pros have an inner inside them. And I just find them a bit easier to manage in terms of the condensation and stuff like that. So that's the tent up. It's not perfect, it never is when I do it, but it'll do for tonight. So 120 centimetres, it is quite close to the floor on each end, but you do get quite a lot of airflow under the doors. Might pull these side guy lines out a bit further just to pull the vents out more at the top as well, and I'll peg these side guy lines out. So that's everything pitched with all the guy lines and everything. You only need 8 pegs in total anyway, so those blue sky pegs are the only ones that I've used. A lot of people do modifications to these tents so that you need 2 pegs for the doors and bits and bobs like that, but I've just left it as it is for now essentially. This is the sleep mat I told you about that I'm trying out tonight. It's made by Light Tour and it was sent to me by Collins Outdoors. Comes in its own pump sack, which you can use as a dry bag, or just drop it on the floor like that. Let me get it out. Oh, for God's sake, man. So you can get these in rectangle or mummy shapes, in regular size or large size. I think they've sent me the square regular shape, but we'll pump it up and have a look. Prices start at 111 quid. I think that's for the small one though. The one that I've got was 126, I think. So it's not the cheapest mat by any means, but it is properly R-rated at 5.8. So you should, in theory, be able to use this all year round for camps in the UK. And if you look at these on the website, they do have copies of the official ASTM certificates on there as well. So that's it, fully inflated. It's the 183 centimetre version of the mat, and it's a wide one as well, so it's 25 inches or 63 centimetres wide, I think it is. And then hopefully you can see there, it's got a decent thickness to it as well. It has got insulation inside it, and like I say, it is rated to 5.8. So we'll see how we get on with it tonight. I have got a little bit of my light AF mat as well that I'm going to put under this just for a bit of protection, especially because I haven't got that footprint with me. Just feel a little bit crinkly and crisp baggy, a little bit like the xTherms are, but actually when you're on it, it's not too bad at all. Feels quite comfortable as well. I have started to form an opinion on it already, if I'm honest, but I do want to wait until the morning, until I've had a proper night's sleep on it, to give any kind of verdict. So I've got my Nemo Forte sleeping bag again, and the flex tail pillow. It's only meant to drop to 3 degrees tonight, so I'll be more than fine in that bag, I'm sure. But I am testing that sleep mat out for the first time, so I brought along with me my Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner. This is a Thermalite Reactor Compact Plus. It is a short one because it's just something to throw over my bottom half if I start to get cold. I don't think I will, but for the size of it, I thought I'd bring it along. I got that for Christmas from Mrs. Daley, so I think that's the last of my Christmas presents that you've seen now. I mean, do you still enjoy a good sort of nose around in a gear tour, or should I just stop doing them? I'll show you the other bits I've got this time, but unless anybody comments and lets me know, I'll probably refrain in future. Right, so as well as the Nemo bag flex tail pillow, I have bought my Nature Hike down boots this time. I've got merino layer, hat and gloves in there. Got my electricals and my hygiene kit in these red dry bags. Then here I've got my Decathlon 4 class down coat. I've stuffed my pack down there in the corner. And then just in the vestibule, I've got my food pouch. I've bought my Fire Maple remote stove, titanium pot and gas, a couple of cans of Coke, some water, and I've got some M&S chocolate mini whips for a treat later. Time for some food, I reckon. I think this will be alright, it's dry anyway, it's just been open and stank all my gear out. Ready in 5 minutes. Can't remember where I got this from now. Cost me £1, I think, from Poundland or Home Bargain, somewhere like that. Got myself a new spork as well. Hashtag blue spork. Hopefully it'll be harder to lose and misplace. Getting all the gear out that I haven't used for ages today, it seems. So I've got the Lanshan obviously, and then this Fire Maple remote stove. Did I use that on my snow camp? Maybe. I might be lying to you. I've got my heat shield as well, or anything to stand this on. So I'm going to try and stand it on my drone case. What could go wrong? So while that's doing its stuff, I think it said on the packet it takes 5 minutes to rehydrate. The sleep mat that I'm trying out tonight, I was sent it for free from Collins Outdoors. Now I am using my own terms for product reviews now, which basically says I'll say what I want, I won't say anything scripted, I'll give an honest opinion, and the company that sends me the product, they don't get to see the video before you guys see it. So I've been using those for a while. They have put quite a few companies off, which I think is a good thing, but Collins Outdoors and Flex Tail Gear are both perfectly fine with them, which to me is a good thing because it shows that they've got confidence in their products and they're happy to just send them out to people for an honest review and to give their own honest opinions on them. You want to have a look at my snackaroni, don't you? Doesn't look too bad really. Well, it's definitely nicer than the Summit to Eat one that's just disgusting. There's not loads and loads of flavour to it. I thought it'd be a lot more cheesy given the smell of all my gear where it's leaked. Maybe all the cheesiness has leaked out onto my gear. But yeah, it's not too bad at all. Yeah, that meal was okay. I'd probably give it 6 out of 10. I think this is probably my favourite part of a camp. You know, when you've got everything set up, you're fed and watered, and it's time to just chill and kick back and relax a bit. There's a little bit of road noise over there that'll die down shortly. But other than that, I can just hear the birds starting to settle down in the trees, and it's nice to be out in the fresh air. I've had a bit of a cold and a bit of COVID-13 the last few days. COVID-13 is where you test positive for COVID-19, but it's not as bad as COVID-19. It's just like glorified man flu, really. It's definitely dropping now, so I've just put my merino top on and swapped my soft shell out for the Decathlon down coat as well. Gloves are on. I'm alright without a hat for now, but that'll go on shortly. One thing that's always worth doing as the temperature drops is coming back to your sleep mat and your pillow if you've got an inflatable pillow. Anything inflatable, because if it's been left for a while and you inflated it while it was warm outside and the air was warm, it will condense and shrink as it cools down, so you might just need to top it up a little bit. I'm just checking as well, because although where I've pitched the tent does look level, you'll never find a pitch that's 100% straight, and you always want to keep your head higher than your feet when you can. So I'm just making sure that I'm the right way around on the mat, which it feels like I am. There's not a lot in it because it is quite flat, but you don't want your feet higher than your head. And if you are sloping the wrong way, you can tell pretty much straight away as you're laying down. I'd forgotten how big and spacious these Lanshan 2 tents are inside as well. Loads of room in here. If I sit up, you can see there's probably about 10 inches, a foot there. Decent size. You do get 2 lantern hooks as well, one on that side and one on that side, and I have seen people put like a washing line across there, so if you're doing multi-day trips and multi-day hikes, you've got somewhere to hang your washing. Bloody flies in here in February. Get out. I think the main culprits for the cheese gate was my filming stuff, so my little Gorilla Pod thing and my light. I've got most of it off, I think, but because it's like a cheese powder, it gets into every little thread and nook and cranny. Right folks, that's me signing off for tonight. I'll see you in the morning for a brew and a bit of a review on this sleep mat. Morning folks, just having a drink and one of my usual cereal bars. Slept really well. It dropped to 3 degrees as I said, but I was plenty warm enough just in the bag. I didn't need my down boots or anything like that. The mat was really warm. You can feel the cold underneath the mat, but then the top you can feel where it's absorbed the heat from your body and held it into the mat, a little bit like what you get on the xTherms. I have got the regular length mat, so my feet did come off the bottom a couple of times, but as a side sleeper I usually curl my legs up a little bit, so it wasn't too bad. It's really comfortable and it's really quiet as well. When you're on it and moving around, you can't really hear any sound from it. The biggest thing for me with the mat is the price. I think it needs to be under £100 really, £128. I'm comparing it to my Xped, which I got for 140 quid. Now the Xped Ultra 5R, it is a lot bulkier and a lot heavier, but it does come with a 5-year warranty. Having said that, I do think if you're going to invest a bit more money in one bit of your kit, I would start with your sleep mat and invest in that first, because you can't put a price on a good night's sleep. As with any bit of kit or equipment, the real test is how it performs over times. I'll be taking that sleep mat out on my next few camps, so be sure to hit subscribe if you want to see if it dies.